Oscar!
Hey!
Hello!
How you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
Good. You've got headphones on. Otherwise, I'd shout, Alexa, play Kenny G.
Well, I know you love Kenny G.
I do.
Yeah, I'm torn between the, headphones and not headphones. I feel like
it's safer with headphones though, because people, if you have an Amazon device, people can control it through the power of Zoom. So or whatever platform on. Yeah.
So what's been going on? Hey, you're writing an opera. I see from Twitter.
Yeah.
A winter scene opera.
Yeah. It's got lots of different sort of environments in it, but one of them is a winter scene, and I just happened to be orchestrating it with all this snow coming down. It was like very very romantic, very nice. Yeah. I mean, it isn't really, the piece is not particularly romantic, but anyway.
I think you need to, Bettison and Romance.
No.
Romanticism, high romanticism go together in my mind usually. Lots of like vibrato and lush string textures and
the old Mantovani strings. Yeah. How about you?
Yeah, I'm writing a monodrama.
For
Karim Suleiman and Alarm Will Sound, who I know you've worked with, based on Garth Greenwell's book What Belongs to You. So I'm doing the libretto myself. So that's what I've been working on this past week, is just sort of getting the libretto for the second of 3 parts organized. So that's its own sort of weird thing.
Yeah.
Reducing a 100-page section of a book down to 10-page libretto, or, as concise as you can get it. Because I think the piece is already, first part is 38 minutes, and there are 3 parts.
Wow.
From a piece I thought was going to be 70 minutes. So I'm like, okay, how are we going to figure that out?
Yeah, and like with the libretto, I mean, I've done my own for this thing, and it's like, and you think, oh, I've really reduced the amount of words. I've really done a pretty good job, and then you start setting it, and you go, no, I haven't actually.
Right? Yeah, there's still so many words. Always so many words.
Yeah.
And so when you're writing, you have like Kenny G on in the background. Is that right? Or
I mean, generally all the time. 24/7.
Right. But there is something, I mean, I know we're joking about Kenny G, but there is something that you, I think, sincerely love. I wouldn't say that you love Kenny G.
I've actually never really listened to Kenny G, to be honest. I've never really listened to it.
But there's something about, like you mentioned Mantovani strings also, there's something about, and I don't know if is it like camp? There's something that I feel like you are drawn to. And which kind of, or maybe it's like, because I know you're also like a huge Barry White fan.
Love Barry White.
And the orchestration in Barry White, I think, is something that I know you know very well.
Oh, yeah. But
is there a connection in some way?
Well, Kenny G played in Barry White's band.
Oh, so there it is.
So there it's right there.
It's the connection.
Actually, also with Barry White, like there is, what I like about Barry White is you've got the cheesiness on top, but then you've just got an amazingly tight groove underneath.
Right.
And it's not the best of both worlds, And I think without the groove, it's not really,
right.
It's a bit too, it's a bit too much for me. But yeah, Barry White, amazing stuff. Amazing.
Well, I remember, I feel like when I first met you, the first time so we met in 2001.
That's right. Yeah.
We were roommates at Tanglewood.
That was 20 years ago.
It was what?
That was 20 years ago.
It was 20 years ago this summer, yeah. But let's not think about that too much, that it was 20 years ago. Yeah. And I remember 2 things sort of initially struck me. One is one of the first things you did when you arrived is you pulled a bottle of gin out of your bag that you had bought at the airport. And I think one of the first things we did together was drink gin, which was a very good start. And it kind of set up much of our future.
Yeah.
And then the next thing was like when I discovered that you were really, like, I think it's fair to say obsessed, maybe, especially at that time, with Barry White.
I mean, it's hard not to be. I can't get it now, but I've got like a boxed LP set of all the 70s albums.
Oh, amazing.
That I've been buying a lot of records during lockdown because, I mean, I don't know. I get obsessed with things during lockdown and I can't leave my house, so I end up buying records. And one thing I bought was a reissue of like all the 70s albums of Barry White, and I think it's a wise investment. I recommend everyone get it, but
And so it's so with Barry White, it's the groove, right? The sort of like the tightness of the band, and then I mean, would you call it cheesiness? It's not really cheesiness.
Not really. It's
like the raw schmaltz.
Yeah, you know that because the strings are. What's really great actually is the strings have always got like a lot of reverb on them.
Right.
The groove is like dry and like tight.
Right.
Like
right,
it's
right.
it's kind of weird. Yeah. It's like two worlds at the same time. I quite like that.
But that idea that like you can find like brilliant orchestration in something like a Barry White track, right, is not a thing that we typically are taught in school. At least I think not. I was not taught to look to places like Barry White for great orchestration, right?
Totally, yeah.
But it's there.
It is.
Sure.
I mean, I've got like some of the orchestrations are like actually a lot of like 70s soul stuff has like I mean, like Marvin Gaye, like especially like an album like I Want You, like the orchestrations are unbelievable. What's going on as well? Just amazing orchestrations.
Yeah. Oh my God. Well, what's going on is like
it's incredible, and like and like we're never told this in anywhere. Like you know, you find it out and then you go, wait, almost get angry that no one told you.
Yeah, totally. We first met at Tanglewood, and then we ended up both being at Princeton together at the same time. I think you were like a year ahead of me, or something like that. And at some point in there, we were in a band together.
We were.
I don't remember exactly how it started, or whether the band started first, or whether the name for the band came first.
The name for the band.
I think we were in Steve Mackey's class. It was like a rock class, right?
Yeah.
And I guess I was sitting next to you or something, and you like wrote down in your notebook the name Snuff Messiah. I mean, which was brilliant. And I was just like, that band needs to exist. And so, do you remember? I know Paul Botello was the third member.
Yes.
Guitarist and composer who is a big fan of Sleep. And like stoner metal. Which we were both kind of also exploring around that time. You were sort of in like we were both in kind of a metal phase, but I was looking more at like metalcore and death metal and black metal, and you were the one who sort of introduced me to some of the like stoner metal.
I'm really into that. Yeah.
What was it about that music for you that you found really like that got you into it?
Well, it's really funny because it's actually most of metal, the vast majority of metal is about virtuosity, and that's the one branch of metal that isn't really. It's really about groove and feel and sound. And you actually don't. I mean, I guess the drum parts kind of get busy, but like, you don't need to be
not so much though.
Not really. You don't need to be very good to play that.
Right, which is perfect for us. If I remember correctly, with Snuff Messiah, I don't know that we had any songs per se.
Not really. No, I don't think we did. I think we were an instrumental band.
It was a little Jazz Odyssey-ish. It like veered.
A lot Jazz Odyssey-ish, actually. In all fairness,
it could have gone. Yeah, and I think we had some grooves.
A puppet show.
A puppet show. With puppet show. Snuff Messiah with puppet show.
Yeah. Do you remember when we played that gig in Philly?
Yes. Our one show, not like not at some tiny room in Princeton. I think we played like 4 shows total, maybe.
I can't remember. There weren't.
But yeah, the Philly show was at Khyber.
Khyber, that's it. Yeah.
If I remember, we had a good crowd
to begin with.
When we started, and then every song or section or minute that passed, the crowd just kind of drifted further and further away from the stage and kind of went to the other room. I think at the end we had 3 people. Yeah,
but we did, but they really, really liked us.
They were mega fans.
Really, that was our audience.
Our very small audience.
Totally, they would have followed us forever, I'm sure.
Lightning round.
Yes, I've got questions. Do you have a buzzer?
I don't have a buzzer. No, I should. You'd think I'd have a buzzer, but
we should have buzzers for this. And I don't know what we win either. That's the other part, but probably a boat. What's the first album you ever bought?
The Cure. Well, the first CD I ever bought was The Cure, Disintegration. The first cassette I ever bought was Beastie Boys' License to Ill. Or Bon Jovi, Slippery When Wet.
New Jersey.
Which, was, they basically give with your birth certificate in New Jersey. But okay. What food do you miss in the UK?
Okay, so I am from the UK, but my mum's Spanish. So actually, I kind of grew up eating a lot more sort of Spanish food than I did English food. So I have a weird relationship with English food. So there are some things, I suppose, one thing you can't, I don't know. I've never had convincing fish and chips in this country.
Mm.
Like really, because it's all sometimes too greasy or the batter's not right. And fish and chips is a good one. You have to, the key is really with the chips is that you have to put enough vinegar on them, salt, but also enough vinegar on them. So when you put you get anywhere near it, you're basically going to pass out from the fumes of the vinegar.
Right.
That's really that's the key. That's what I'd say about fish and chips. Well, this is a good one. What artist do you wish more people knew about?
I mean, lately I've been really obsessed with this band, new music group, early music group, Acronym. Which is, first of all, the best name for an ensemble ever, and was formed by someone who's also a cellist in Ice, which I kind of love. So early music group called Acronym, and their sort of mission is to discover or to record music by composers from the 16th, 17th, 15th century who are not recorded yet. So I've discovered a lot of really interesting stuff from them. Giovanni Valentini is one who I'm pretty obsessed with right now. And, just this whole world of pre-common practice harmonic stuff that is just so weird and so interesting. And, it really creates this idea of common practice harmony is it sort of makes it all almost fraudulent, when you hear this work. So I would say Acronym. Check out Acronym, and they have a number of recordings out that are really great. Do you have a secret talent?
Do I have a secret talent?
That you will make no longer secret by telling us.
Things that I'm good at that aren't writing music. I'm quite good. I'm not bad at cooking. I can make pretty good. Drinks. I can mix cocktails and things.
I can attest to that.
I make my own. I make yogurt.
I was going to ask you about that. If you're
granola,
yeah,
makes me sound very. But anyway, yes. Fill in the blank. Composing is.
Oh my God! My first thought was simultaneously fun and work.
That's actually, I was thinking the exact same thing.
Yeah. I don't know which I thought first though.
No.
But I guess that's a good sign. Fun and work. Work.
That's exactly what I was. I think literally both those words. Yeah.
Cool. That was good. That was a good, quick lightning.
That was quick. That was lightning.
What is your go-to karaoke song?
My go-to karaoke song. I really like singing "That's What Friends Are For" with it in a duo. Good song.
With do you
Courtney Orlando and I have sung it before.
Yeah. I would love to hear that.
Got a much better voice than I have, but
right.
So
I have a very distinct but fuzzy memory of some night in Princeton at the D Bar.
Yeah.
Where you were bartending and invited Judd Greenstein and me to. He said, "Oh, come down to the bar. I'm bartending." We're like, "All right, we'll stop by." Not telling us it was karaoke night.
Brilliant. I don't remember this.
Yeah.
Brilliant.
Oh, yeah. And we were like, immediately we were just like, we got to get out of here. Like, this is not going to end well. And you're like, just have a drink. Here, I'll bartend. I'll make you a drink. So, it's like you see the clock go forward hours and hours. And I had this very clear memory of me singing very, very drunk Alice Cooper's "I Love the Dead."
Fantastic.
which for some reason they had in the karaoke.
I do remember this now. Now that you bring it up.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
I don't know why any karaoke machine would have "I Love the Dead," but they had it, and I sang it.
Fantastic. That's great.
I'm surprised I remember it.
It's
because you were bartending.
It's a great leveler, isn't it, karaoke?
Yeah.
David, it's been
Oscar.
It's been great chatting.
Yes, definitely. Yeah, good to see you as always.
You too. Yeah. Let's
far off Jersey City.
Yeah, let's get together when
when such things are possible.
When the world exists again.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, we'll have some gin.
Yes, sounds good. Cool.
All right.
See you soon.